ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम श्रीशैलाभिजनाम्बुराशिशिरं श्रीकृष्णतातात्मजं श्रीशैलान्वय देवनाथ सुधिय प्राप्तागमान्तद्वयं पादाब्जे नरसिंहताते गुरोः न्यस्तात्मरक्षाभरं विद्वद्वृन्दचकोरचन्दिरमहं रामानुजार्यं श्रये श्रीरङ्गसुधामधुसमास्वादयन्तं श्रीरङ्गमहिषी पदपङ्कजात्मजं सुलभाश्रयं सदा मोहसिद्धमद्भुतं भजेऽहं गुरुं तं रङ्गनाथ प्रियं सुखासनस्थं हृदयाब्जपीठे चिन्मुद्रयालङ्कृतपाणिपद्मं शुभोपवीतं विमलोर्ध्वपुण्ड्रं नमामि रङ्गं गुरुमन्तरङ्गे नमामि योगसम्राज्ञीं विजयां विजयप्रदां श्रीरङ्गार्धासनासीनां करुणां मम मातरं गुरुरूपपरञ्ज्योतिः ज्योतिरूपगुरुः परः अज्ञानमन्दिरं ह्येतत् गुरुविज्ञानमन्दिरं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यो अन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीने प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः सकृदेव प्रपन्नाय तवास्मीति च याचते अभयं सर्वभूतेभ्यः ददाम्येतद्व्रतं मम मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदः प्राचेतसादासीते साक्षात् रामायणात्मनम् வங்கக்கடல் கடந்த மாதவனை கேசவனை திங்கள் திருமுகத்தைச் சேழியார் செஞ்சிரஞ்சி அங்கப்பறை கொண்ட வாத்தை அணிபுதுவை பைங்கமல தண்டரியல் பட்டர் பிரான் கோதை சொன்ன சங்கத்தமிழ் மாலை 30 தப்பாமே இங்கு பரிசுரைப்பார் 2 மால் வரைத்தோர் செங்கண் திருமுகத்தைச் செல்வத் திருமாலாலும் நாராயணா எங்கும் திருவருள் பெற்று இன்புருவர் எம்பாவாய் ஆண்டாள் திருவடிகளே சரணம். With salutations to our Guru and the Guru of all Gurus, will commence our session today. I just wanted to chant the last Tiruppavi, although Margazhi ended officially yesterday. We have been chanting it in our session. So, as a matter of continuity, I thought we will remember Andal not just during Margazhi, but may her grace guide us throughout this year, starting on an auspicious day, which is known as Uttarayana Punyakalam, Makara Sankranti, Thai Pongal, and so on. It's a great day that we remember the Lord, his manifestation through various devatas, especially Surya Bhagavan today, and of course, an entire retinue of Parama Bhagavatottamas who have very compassionately guided us towards that divine light. So, no better way to begin the new year than thinking of one such great personality, which is Lord Hanuman himself. With these words, we'll get into our session now. Yeah, I think we were in sloka number 24 of Sarga, Chaturtha Sarga, Lankapuri Pravesha. Am I right? Yeah. Anybody can confirm that? Rakshodhipati nirdishtam dadarshantah puragratah Tada tadgraham drishtva.
Anna, again. Anna, we were on Sloka 13 where
Susrava japatam mantran, right?
Yeah.
Raksho griheshu vai. Okay, thank you. Swadhyaya niratam seva yatu danan dadarsha saha. Just give me a minute. Yes. So in this sarga, essentially it's a small sargam. It talks about the various things that Hanuman sees upon entering Lanka. And we saw that he is looking at a variety of Rakshasas who are happily enjoying their time, singing Tristana Swaram, etc. And then he also looked at the women who are wearing all kinds of ornaments and the sound that is emanating from Kanchi Ninadam Nupuranancha Niswanam. And when they were climbing their steps, that was also making different types of sounds. And that is something he was listening to, apart from the fact that Swadhyaya Niratam Chaiva Yatudanan Dadarshasah. He looked at the Rakshasas, Yatudhanas, who were intent on Swadhyaya, which basically means they were chanting Vedic Suktams. And Ravanastava Samyuktan Garjato Rakshasanapi. He happened to look at Rakshasas who were chanting stotras about Ravana, where Rajamargam Samavartya Sthitam Rakshobalam Mahatte. So basically, it was a very festive mood there. People were celebrating Ravana. Dadarsha madhyame gulme rakshasasya charan bahun dikshitan jatilan mundan gojinam baravasasaha. Then these subsequent slokas, they detail the various types of Rakshasas Hanuman sees. Okay, it makes a, one can start caricaturing them based on the descriptions here. So in the Madhyame Gulme, in the center of the city, what did he see? Rakshasasya charan bahun. Many of the demons were seen. What is that description? The first thing is Dikshitan. Dikshitan means, in general, we have this surname called Dikshitar, isn't it? Dikshitar, Muthuswami Dikshitarலேருந்து ஆரம்பிச்சு நம்ம ஆத்து மாமா கூட ஞாபகம் இருக்கு எங்களுக்கு, வெங்கடேஷ தீட்சிதர்னு பேர் அவருக்கு. Dikshitarna, those who have obtained Diksha to perform something. And that something normally is, let's say, to perform different yagas. So somebody would have gotten the Diksha to perform a specific type of yagam. So their entire family, let's say Somayajis, you would have heard about this, other surname. So they are all Dikshitas to perform Somayagam. Likewise, somebody may be a Dikshita to perform puja in temples, right? So that's the meaning of Dikshita. The other thing is, we normally hear the word Dikshay, especially if you are following some Vradam. Even those who are not Dikshitas, they adopt Dikshay for a short period of time. And during that time, they adopt a variety of practices, including, for example, growing beard, not shaving, right? ஸோ அவர் தீட்சை வச்சிருக்காருன்னா அவர் மூஞ்சி எங்கன்னு தேடுறதுக்கே கஷ்டமாயிடும், அந்த மாதிரி வளர்த்து வச்சிருப்பார். ஸோ தீக்ஷிதான் ப்ராபப்ளி மீன்ஸ் பீப்புள் ஹூ ஆல்சோ ஸ்போர்ட்டட் பியர்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் வர் லுக்கிங் லைக் ரிஷிஸ். தென் ஜட்டிலான், ஜட்டிலம் அப்படின்னாக்கா ஜட்டிலான் முண்டான் வருது பாருங்க, ஆதிசங்கருடைய பஜகோவிந்தத்தில் வருது இல்லையா, ஜட்டிலோ முண்டி लुञ्चित केशः काषायाम्बर बहुकृत वेशः. Jatilan, Mundan. Of course, Adi Shankara was talking about other sects, predominantly perhaps belonging to the Jains and Buddhist sects, who would essentially showcase that they can tonsure their heads and roam about like monks. Kashayambara Bahukruta Veshaha Abdin Solirkar. So here there are two types of ascetics. One who have matted hairs. They are called as Jatilas, and Mundas are those who have shaved their heads. So that's the two types you can see here. Then Gojinambara Vasasaha. They were wearing robes made of cow hides or ajinam, deer hides. So basically, so to say, the topmost sector there, those who are engaged perhaps in a priestly life. This is already a description. So there are, even among Rakshasas, you have the so-called priestly category. And this particular line is about such people. Darbhamushti praharanan agnikundayudhams tatha kutamudgara panimscha dandayudadharanapi ekakshaneka karnamscha lambodara payodharan karalan bhuknavaktramscha vikatan vamanams tatha Dhanvinah Kadginaschaiva Shatagni Musalayudhan Parigottama Hastamscha Vichitra Kavachojvalan Nati Sthulan Nati Krishan Nati Dirghati Hraswakan Nati Gauran Nati Krishnam Nati Kubjan Navamanan Virupan Bahrupamscha Surupamscha Suvarchasaha Patakadhvajinaschaiva Dadarsha Vividhayudhan. So we'll now see further description of various types of Rakshasas. Gojinambara Vasa Patatom. Arthad Darbha Mushti Praharan. So there were Rakshasas who were holding Darbha grass in their mushti. Okay, that means they were ready to do some kind of yagam. Agni Kunda Yudhan. They were equipped with tools that are meant for Agni Kundam. Okay, the whatever implements we use for performing the yagam. Adellang kaila vechindirka. அந்த மாதிரி ராட்சசால பார்த்தார். கூட்டமுத்கர பாணியினான் அப்படின்னாக்கா they were holding hammers and mallets in their hand அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். கூட்ட முத்கர. சரியா? அதையும் கையில வச்சுருக்கா. mallets and hammers. அடுத்தது தண்டாயுத தரானபி. தண்டாயுதம். So they were holding staff and spikes. ஏகாக்ஷான். அடுத்து இப்போ இது கையில வச்சுக்கிற டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் சொன்னார். இப்போ now he is going to describe their ஆகாரம். ஏகாக்ஷான் அப்படின்னா வெரி சிம்பிள். ஒத்த கண்ணன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா? ஏகாக்ஷான். அடுத்தது ஏக கர்ணாம்ச. ஒரே ஒரு காது தான் இருக்கும். they were having only one ear. Interesting. அடுத்தது லம்போதர பயோதரான். அதாவது it perhaps also has a symbolic meaning. God has given us pairs of eyes, pairs of ears, not for no reason. And I think what he wants us to have is a balanced view of things that we see. You should not close your eyes for good things. The Rakshasas have one eye opened only for bad things. At the same time, the ears. Their ears is open only to listen to things that will enhance all the Arishad Vargas, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryam. So perhaps that's the symbolic reference here. At the same time, even these days we see kids who are born with deformities. அவளை ராட்சசான்னு சொல்லப்படாது. But in physicality, you can see, you can perhaps not rule out people who are born with one eye, 1 ear, and so on. அடுத்தது லம்போதர பயோதரான். Valmiki, extends his imagination here. There were Rakshasas whose, breasts were as big as their stomachs. So that's how they took care of their bodies. Nalla kattumutta saattunde. They had grown their chest to such an extent. Aduthathu Karalan. Some of them were really frightful to look at. Okay. Aduthathu Bhukna Vaktramscha. So some of you perform Shraddhas, etc. You would have heard this word called Bhugnam. Among all darbhas, Bhugnam is that darbham which is made in a specific shape. Adu or U shape la or loop potirkum. Right? Basically, it is a contorted way abdin artham. So Bhugna Vaktrana Munji. So their faces were stooping abdin artham adukku. Bhugna Vaktramscha. Vikatan, they had distorted forms. Entire body was completely distorted. I'm sorry, பொங்கல் அன்னைக்கு இதெல்லாம் கேட்க வேண்டியிருக்கு. பட் ஆஞ்சநேயர் பார்த்ததை அப்படியே ரிப்போர்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். ஸோ பேர் வித் மீ. புக்ன வக்திராம்ச விகட்டான ததா வாமனான். தேர் வர் குள்ளம் பீப்புள், டுவார்ஃப்ஸ். ஓகே. தென் தன்வினஹ, ராட்சசாஸ் who were holding தன்வா or the bows. அப்புறம் கட்கினஸ் செய்வ, some of them were holding swords in their hands. சதக்னி Musalayudhan. They were holding the description of demons. Adinale and the moon இது வச்சு இந்த arrow marks எல்லாம் போட்டு வச்சிருக்குமே, அதுக்கு என்ன பேர் இதுக்கு? Trident. So on the trident, of course, not the trident that Shiva has in his hands. So they were holding such types of weapons. Shatagni, a club tripped with iron. Next, which resembles thunderbolt. Shatagrina, thunderbolt. Aparam Parighottama Astamscha. So they were holding iron bolt in their hands. Vichitra Kavacho Jwalan. They were wearing different types of shields. Kavachamlam Ananjendrika. Then, so this is about their description. From what other types of weapons they are holding. Again, a further description of their body comes now. Nati sthulan. So no, they were not very stout. Sthulam na romba parumana irukradhukku peru. Nati krishan. Krisham na thin nartham. So some of them were not very thin. Nati dirgha ati hraswakan. They were neither very tall nor very short. Hraswam, dirgham, Hraswam, idallam adjectives. Sthulam, Krisham is about the body mass index. அடுத்தது தீர்க்கம், Hraswam is about ஒட்டட குச்சியா இருக்கான், டாலா இருக்கான்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா. சில பேர் குள்ளமாவும் இருக்கா. நாதி கிருஷ்ணான். So there are people who are not very dark. Nati Gauran, not very fair. So perhaps they were brown in nature. Okay, these are racist comments. He is describing their colors, whatever he is seeing there. Nati Kubjan. So they did not have too much of a hunchback. Kubjam na the hunchback. Na Vamanan, neither very short. Virupan, they were kind of hideous to look at. Bahurupam, they were also in many forms. Surupam, there were also people who were good looking among the demons. Yeah. There is a song called Ayagiya Asuran or song. I hope you remember that. So there were Asuras, Rakshasas who were actually looking good. Suvarchasaha, their countenance was also good looking. Aparan Dhwajin, those who were holding banners in their hands. Patakinas Cheva, banners and flags. Idellathiyum paakra Vividhayudan Dadarsha. So interestingly, It's a very elaborate description of the types of people that Lord Hanuman saw upon entering Lanka. அடுத்தது மேற்கொடி பார்ப்போம். சக்தி விருக்ஷாயுதாம்ச்சைவ பட்டிஷாசினதாரிணः க்ஷேபணி பாசஹஸ்தாம்ச்ச ததர்ஷ சமஹாகபிः ஸ்ரக்விணஸ்த்வனுலிப்தாம்ச்ச வராபரணபூஷிதான் நானாவேஷ சமாயுக்தான் யதா ஸ்வைரகதான் பகூன் तीक्ष्णशूलधरांश्चैव वज्रिणश्च महाबलान् शतसाहस्रमव्यग्रम् अरक्षं मध्यमं कपिः. So what are the other things that he is noticing here? It probably talks about a variety of weaponry. Okay. Mahakapihi enalam pathar Shakti Vrikshayuthaschaiva. So some of them were holding Shakti Vrikshas as weapons in their hands. Different types of chedigal. Kaila vechindruka. Pattishashani dharinaha. Ashanina and the lightning pere. Pattisa ashani dharinaha. Again 3-pointed spears and different types of missiles. Adinartham. Kshepani pashahastamscha. Kshepani and the projectile per Kshepani, Kshipani. Other kaila vechindruka. That means they are holding different types of weapons, including missiles. Sragvinaha, some of them were wearing garlands of flowers. Okay. Anuliptamscha, nalla scent pottundirundirukkan artham. So they were having different types of fragrances. Varabharana bhushitan, wearing different types of ornaments. Nanavesha samayuktan, again different types of dresses. They are wearing robes of different colors. Yatha swairagatan bahun, they were freely moving around in the high streets of Lanka. Tikshna shula dharamschaiva, once again tikshna markakudiya shulatha kaila vechindruka. Vajrinascha, thunderbolt madri irukkudiya weapons. In other words, these rakshasas were wearing different types of clothes, different ornaments, and different types of weapons in their hands. Adu in the slokathilendru namakku theriya varudhu. Shata sahasram avyagram. So now is the important. So Hanuman pathinde vara street la pathinde varache, he is now coming to an important place in Lanka. அங்க என்ன பார்க்கிறார்னா சதசாஹஸ்ரம் அவ்யக்ரம் அraksham madhyamam kapihi. He suddenly sees there is a complete retinue of rakshasas, thousands of them, who are guarding a particular place. Seriya? Rakshodhipati nirdishtam dadarshantah puragratah satada tadgriham drishtva mahahatakatoranam. Rakshodhipati nirdishtam. Rakshodhipati na Ravanar, Rakshasargalukku adhipati. He has asked these thousands of soldiers to take guard. Enganaka antapura agrataha. So he has reached the so-called harem, or the place where Ravana's many queens live. That is completely fortified and guarded by thousands of Rakshasas. So tada tadgriham drishtva, அந்த வீட்டை பார்த்துட்டு, அந்த வீடு எப்படி இருக்கு? மகாஹாட்டக தோரணம், அகைன் நல்ல தங்கத்தினால தழிச்சிருக்க அந்த அந்தப்புரம். ராட்சசேந்திரஸ்ய விக்யாதம் அத்ரிமூர்த்னி பிரதிஷ்டிதம் புண்டரீகாவதம் சாபிஹி பரிகாபிஸ் சமாவிருதம் பிராகாரவிருத்தமத்யந்தம் ததர்ஷ சமஹாகபிஹி திரிவிஷ்டபநிபம் திவ்யம் திவ்யநாத விநாதிதம். So இங்க எல்லாம் இருக்கு. சஹா மகாகபிஹி, மகாஹாட்டக தோரணம், அத்ரிமூர்த்னி பிரதிஷ்டிதம். Adrina Malaiki Pere. So these Antapuram Bhavanas, they were also quite tall. They were as if they are touching the skies. Adinartham. Pratishtitam, Vikyatam, they were appeared to be renowned in architecture. Pundarika Vatamsabihi. Pundarikamna lotus vechipoma. So there were moats that were around the Antapuram, and they were full of Pundarikas or lotuses. So basically, it's one of the beautiful places where Ravana's wives could basically live. அடுத்தது பரிகாபி என மோட்ஸ் அது அலங்கிருதம் ராகாராவிருத்தம் ராட்சசேந்திரஸ்ய தத் கிருஹம். So basically the fortified form of Antapuram is something that Hanuman saw there. But beyond that, what is he saying? Trivishtapanibham. Trivishtapanibhamna, this resembled heaven itself. அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம் அதுக்கு. Trivishtapanibham divyam. It looked very divine. And divyanada vinaditam. There were different types of nadam that was emanating from these Antapuram bhavanas. Vajiheshita sanghushtam naditam bhushanaistatha rathairyanair vimanaischa tatha gajahaye shubhaihi varanaischa chaturdantaihi shvetabhranichayopamaihi bhushitam ruchiradwaram mattaischa mrigapakshibhihi rakshitam sumahaviryaihi yatu dhanai sahasrashaha rakshasadhipater guptam avivesha griham kapihi. So further description of the Antapuram and the different types of things that he saw there is imbibed in these shlokas. Enna solrarenga, he saw different types of rathaihi, chariots, nalla different types of chariots irukku. Yanaihi na carriages, vimanaischa flying chariots irundhirukanga. Okay, so idha vech dhaan there was a big story or controversy around ராமாயணத்திலே விமானங்கள்லாம் இருக்கு அப்படின்னாக்கா லங்கையிலையும் லங்கையிலையும் தான் அந்த புஷ்பக விமானமும் வருது இல்லையா. So there's a description of vimanas here. Okay, அடுத்தது shubhaihi, auspicious, haya gajaihi, hayamna horse, gajamna elephants, shvetabhra nichayopamaihi, shvetabramna clouds. So the horses were really white in color. Chaturthantaihi, apparently they had 4 tusks. நம்ம மாமூலா 2 தந்தம் தான் பார்ப்போம். The elephants had 4 tusks. Varanaischa, varanna elephants. Bhushitam mattaihi mrigapakshibihi, there were intoxicated animals and birds that could be spotted there. Ruchiradwaram sumahaviryaihi sahasrashaha yatudanaihi rakshitam. And the entrance எப்படி இருக்குன்னா ரொம்ப அழகா இருக்குன்னு அர்த்தம், ரம்யமா இருக்கு, ருச்சிரம். And it is also guarded by hundreds or thousands of Rakshasas who were ordered by Rakshasadhipati Ravana. So அப்பேற்பட்ட அந்த ஒரு கிரகத்தை அனுமான் சென்றடைஞ்சார். சஹேம ஜாம்பூனத சக்கரவாலம் மகார்ஹ முக்தா மணிபூஷிதாந்தம் பரார்த்திய காலா கருச்சந்தனாக்தம் சராவணாந்த புரமாவிவேஷ. So Hanuman should not forget the time that he chose to enter. It is dusk, okay, and Chandrodayam ஆயிருக்கு. இந்த பிரதோஷ காலத்துல என்டர் பண்றார். அப்போ இந்த பர்டிகுலர் place of Antapuram gamagaman fragrant இருக்கு, and it is very beautiful to see. So further description of that place. Hema, hema na gold kartam. Hema gold nala, and the place is completely decorated. Jambunada chakravalam, it is again polished with gold. Maharha muktamani bhushitantam. Muktamani na pearls. It is decorated with different types of pearls and strings of pearls. Pararthya kala agaru chandanaktam. Pararthya kalam abdinaka, it is sprinkled with agaru and chandanam so that others will get the smell very easily from even from a distance. அடுத்தது ராவண அந்தப்புரம் ஆவிவேஷ. இப்பேற்பட்ட ராவனுடைய அந்தப்புரத்தை அனுமான் சென்று அடைஞ்சார். इत्यार्षे श्रीमद् रामायणे वाल्मीकि आदिकाव्ये चतुर्विंशतिसहस्रिकायां संहितायां सुंदरकांडे लंकापुरी प्रवेशो नाम चतुर्थः सर्गः समाप्तः. So basically, the fourth sarga is a description of the different types of Rakshasas and their actually way of life is also brought out here. Epdinaka, we see that they are not only people who are adept at weaponry and so on, but some of them are also priestly அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு aspect இங்க இருக்கு. And they were enjoying their lives. They built very beautiful palaces and they knew how to guard it. And towards the end, we see that Hanuman has figured out the most important place, which is the Antapuram. And from here onwards, we'll see some interesting episodes. So now we will enter the Panchama Sargaha, which is Bhavana Vichayaha. அதாவது அந்த அந்தப்புரத்தை நுழைஞ்சி அங்க என்னெல்லாம் இருக்குன்றதை இப்போ டிஸ்கிரைப் பண்ண போறாரு. ஓகே. ததஸ்ஸ மத்யம் கதமம் சுமல்தம் ஜோத்ஸ்னாவிதானம் மஹதுத்வமந்தம் ததர்ஷ தீமான் திவி பானுமந்தம் கோஷ்டே விருஷம் மத்தமிவ பிரமந்தம். So there will be some beautiful description of Jyotsna or moon and how it is playing on the minds of the occupants of this harem. அப்படிங்கிறத பத்தி இப்போ டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ஸ் இருக்கும். ததஹ தீமான் ஹனுமான் சஹா மத்தியம் கதம் அம்சுமந்தம். அதாவது இந்த மூன் அப்படிங்கிறது மேல போயிருக்கு. மத்தியம் கதம்னா ஆல்மோஸ்ட் சென்டர் ஆஃப் தி ஸ்கை. அம்சுமந்தம்னா லூமினஸ் இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு பதார்த்தம், which is சந்திரன் here. அம்சுமான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா. அம்சுனா அந்த ஒரு லூமினாசிட்டிக்கு பேர் அம்சம். மகத் ஜோத்ஸ்னா விதானம். ஜோத்ஸ்னா விதானம், விதானம்னா ஒரு கேனோபின்னு அர்த்தம். ஸோ இட்ஸ் a canopy of moonlight. உத்வமந்தம் கோஷ்டே பிரமந்தம். உத்வமந்தம்னா that canopy of moonlight is spreading all across the place that Hanuman is in there. Okay. Goshtena stable, Brahmantam is moving around. Mattam Vrishamiva Bhanumantam Divi Dadarsha. So this is a description of moonlight. It appeared as if the moon is moving around like a Matta Vrishamiva. Vrishamna Vrishabham, adavadu bull. So the moon resembled an intoxicated bull when it was roaming around like Bhanumantam, like sun itself. Okay. The connection to Makara Ravi, perhaps. So Divi Dadarsha, Hanuman saw up in the sky. So this is a description, beautiful description of moonlight. அதாவது அந்த பிராகாரத்தை நுழையடிச்சு அப்படி மேல பார்க்கிறார். பார்க்கறச்சே இந்த சந்திரன் தெரியுது. அந்த சந்திரனுடைய டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் இந்த ஸ்லோகம். லோகஸ்ய பாபானி விநாசயந்தம் மகோததிம் சாபி சமேதயந்தம் பூதானி சர்வாணி விராஜயந்தம் ததர்ஷ சீதாம்சு மதாபியாந்தம். லோகஸ்ய பாபானி விநாசயந்தம். So if you perhaps cite மகோததிம் சமேதயந்தம் சாப்பி. ஸோ லோகத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பாப்பத்தெல்லாம் போக்கடிக்கக்கூடிய மகோததிம், கிரேட் ஓஷன் அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். சமேதயந்தம் சாப்பி. In other words, Hanuman is able to see the moonlight not only falling on the bhavanas but also on the ocean. So லோகத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பாப்பத்தெல்லாம் போக்கக்கூடிய சமுத்திரம். Why is a description of samudram coming here? Because it is close by, and a description of sagara as something which wards off all the sins. So சமுத்திரத்துல போய் நம்ம ஸ்நானம் பண்ணோம்னா எல்லா பாப்பமும் போயிடும் இல்லையா. அதனால everyday we can do hundreds of papas. There is a prescription. All you have to do is to go and take bath in the ocean and all your sins will be wiped away. No. It is like when you have headache, you apply Amritanjan on your head. So you don't want to get into too many headaches, just given that there is Amritanjan available for you, isn't it? So in a similar manner, just because there is a pariharam, we should not end up doing papas. But at the same time, samudram is something which has waters and minerals which come from many different rivers. And what it actually does, what is the physical significance? You can take bath in a river, you can take bath in a pond, you can take bath in tap water, you can take a bath in a ocean. The quality of water will be very different across all of these. So unfortunately, those of us who are here in India, we can't do a Ganga Snanam today on Uttarayanam. But those who are lucky enough, you can take a dip in the Ganges. There is a particular dharmam that is attached with the river water, especially the holy rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, Narmada, Kaveri, Godavari, etc. And what to talk about the Sagaram itself? What it does to our bodies is something that the great rishis had figured out several centuries ago. So it is not just a symbolic act of dipping in those waters, but the water has a specific dharmam that the moment it touches our body, and if we take bath in a particular manner, okay, it is not, just splashing your hands the way you want in those waters. There is a way of, if you had observed great people taking bath, they do it in a particular manner. They take sankalpam, and after the sankalpam, they dip their head n number of times. That number of times is also something to note. It cannot be something random. And there is a way of doing pranayama when taking that bath. Okay, you have to hold your breath. And most importantly, think of the Adidevata of that river, Gangana, Ganga Mata. And idellathukkum Jyotisham Jyotiradhyam அப்படின்னு சொல்லக்கூடிய பகவானை நம்ம ஸ்மரிச்சுண்டு அங்க நம்ம ஸ்நானம் பண்ணோம்னாக்கா நம்ம உடம்புல பாப்பங்கள்னால வந்திருக்கக்கூடிய what papas actually cause is an imbalance in our body. Unknowingly, we accumulate it in our body. That is why பாப்பங்கள்னால diseases வருதுன்னு கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கோம் இல்லையா? பூர்வ ஜன்ம கிருத்தம் பாப்பம் வியாதி ரூபேன பாத்தியதே. So if you had done different types of papas, it impacts our body. And அதெல்லாம் போக்கடிக்கக்கூடிய சக்தி இந்த நதி ஜலத்துக்கும் சாகர ஜலத்துக்கும் இருக்கு. So that's the reason why lokasya papani vinashayante is dharma shastram. The purpose of reading Valmiki Ramayanam is to come closer to dharma shastram. And what better day to do such a snanam than Punyakalam, Uttarayana Punyakalam is when the sun moves from southeast to the northeast externally. But for the great yogis, today is also meant for deep contemplation, where the mind automatically jumps from the Dakshina Bhagam or the south part of our body to the Uttara part, which is the Sahasrara Chakram. And that's the reason why today is celebrated as an important day of Sankramanam. So I think perhaps with these words and comments, we'll conclude our session today. Narayana.
Guru Charanam Nirbhara Bhakta Guru Charanam Nirbhara Bhakta Samsara Dachikadvavamukta Guru Charanam Krishna Krishna Sendriyama Devam Bhaja Govind Bhaj Govindam Govindam Bhaj Moodhamate
कायेन वाचा मनसा इन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्या आत्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। सर्वं श्रीरामचन्द्रार्पणमस्तु। चक्रवर्ती तनुजाय सार्वभौमाय मंगलम। मंगलम कौसलेन्द्राय महनीय गुणाब्धये। Have a great day, great year, and may all good things come to all of us with the grace of Sita, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, Hanumat Sameta, Sri Ramachandra Murti. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Raghavanji.
Thank you.
Thank you.